Good afternoon. How are we doing today? Was it an exciting weekend? Good afternoon. How are you today? Let me check the chat, make sure I got it working. Oh, yeah. Everything's working. Got some lighting improvements. My hair's not red. And things are moving forward here at Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. And we finally got this thing up and running good, I think. No issues. I'm still working on the lighting. As you can see, it's slightly improved. Hey, baby steps. I'll take them. I hope everything in your house went smooth all weekend. Mine did. I'm very excited for football tonight. The Lions are playing the Ravens. In case you don't know, I'm a big Lions fan. This chat room is not designed to talk about the Lions. If you want to change the subject, all you got to do is enter the chat. Tell me what you'd like to talk about. We'll discuss it at length. It's my understanding that you need an external device, a phone, iPad, computer. Go to YouTube, download the Discord app, and then all you got to do is enable the chat and jump in here and have a conversation. I'm not streaming on any other platforms other than YouTube. It's the only one that I'm going to broadcast on. I don't care for the other platforms. You guys can use them if you want to. It's not my idea of fun. I like the YouTube platform exclusively. I just looked at my analytics this weekend and we're progressing just fine. YouTube's still trying to sort us out and figure out who to put us in front of. I'm expecting them to figure it out this week or next, I'm sure. It's been a process. But the connectivity issues are cleaned up. The lighting issues, I'm getting better. Oh, my hair's just wet. I didn't get into the shower till late today. It's not red, so that's some improvement over last week, right? As long as we keep progressing forward, it'll get better. This chat room is about you guys. It's an open chat room. We can talk about anything you want within the community guidelines of YouTube. Don't get me in trouble with YouTube. I'm sure I'll get into enough on my own. The name Ghost mostly came from ghostwriting music lyrics, song lyrics. And I just moved that alias forward into this project. I created Ghost Mostly Media LLC. I have not decided what all I'm going to do with the media company. I just created it. Well, the first step, I'll determine what I want to put on and whatnot, in the future. For right now, I wanted to create a live chat room. I don't care what we talk about. If you want to know what's on my mind today, it's football. Okay. I'm a Lions fan. And the most important thing I got going on besides this podcast today is the Monday night football game. The Lions are going to be playing at the Ravens, and I fully expect my Lions to win. Notice how they're my Lions. I'm just, I'm a fan. That's it. I'm not affiliated with the team. They're not paying me. Okay. There are no sponsors on this channel. There are no commercials, no mid-roll ads, no anything. As far as I know, there's currently no way for you to support this channel. I know, it makes a lot of sense, right? Well, I didn't start this channel to get rich. I started this channel so I could chat with people. I would like to talk to people. I'd like to have a conversation. Well, in my working history, I was in Vegas. I was a table games dealer. And dealing with the public, I met probably at least 100 people a week for in excess of 30 years. And now that I'm semi-retired anyways, I miss that. I miss getting to talk to people, getting to meet people, find out what's going on in their area of the world. I don't think you can get a decent snapshot of what's going on somewhere by watching the news. The news is all propaganda nowadays. So you got to talk to people. You got to meet people, see them face to face, and find out what's on their mind. As far as the news goes, it's all pathetic nowadays. I'm sorry, but it is. They don't give you the entire picture. It's all propaganda. This channel is Republican, this channel is Democrat, and they're going to slant the news one way or another. They're not going to give you the real view. It's really hard to sort things out now. It's not Walter Cronkite and Dan Rather anymore, okay? It's corporations. Corporate media is leading us down a path of self-destruction, in my opinion. Okay. I can only give you my opinion from what I see on this end of my couch. Okay. I can't give you another perspective other than the one that I see. And what I see is them telling you that, the whole world is full of crime and killing, and it's just not the truth. Walk out your front door. Take a look around. There's not a criminal on every corner. It's just not that way. But if you watch our news, you're thinking that there's a mass shooter on every corner. There are in excess of 340 million people in this country alone, and 99.9% of them didn't do anything criminal yesterday. They didn't shoot anybody. They didn't rob anybody. They didn't do anything bad. Most of them were being good neighbors, good friends, good citizens. The good people outnumber the bad by a lot. But you can't tell that by watching our local news. They don't show you all the good things that happened because they can't make any money off of it. They can't guarantee you're going to tune in to their channel and watch their broadcast unless they scare you. They want you to be fearful. They make money off your uncontrolled fear. Think about that. It's kind of sick. It really is. And I don't mean to laugh at it, but you got to laugh. Otherwise, you'd pull all your hair out. Okay. It's a form of brainwashing, right? You watch enough John Wick movies and you get to thinking that everybody's a murderer. And that's not reality. I did not think of killing anyone yesterday. I didn't think of killing anyone ever. Okay. And I don't think you did either. Okay. Yeah. They're creating an atmosphere to generate fear, to trigger a response from you. It's the old-fashioned publicity stunt and the old-fashioned tease line. You know, mother injured, story at 11. You got to tune in at 11 to find out whose mother, how was she injured, right? They triggered you into a response. That's what they're doing with the news media. It's sad. I may trigger you into a response. Hopefully you'll jump in the chat room and tell me to shut up. Works for me. I don't know why they can't find another way to make their money. I really don't. I know that they're going to college and learning how to push your buttons, how to manipulate the masses, how to control us. I'm not falling for it anymore. I self-censor. I turn the news off. Sorry, I don't need to hear that. No, if you watch the main networks here in the United States anymore, it's all biased. They're not telling you most of what's going on in the world. They're feeding you a line of bunk. Yeah, there is crime. Yeah, it is horrendous, but it's not as prevalent as they want you to believe that it is. We don't need troops on the streets. Okay. I'm sorry. We just don't. And they're not putting the troops on the streets in the slums. They're putting them in the business places, in the shopping malls, in the shopping centers, in front of the museums and the federal buildings. And it's all for show. If they wanted to put a couple of Marines on every corner of a slum to make that a safer neighborhood, I don't think anyone would complain. But they're not doing that, right? They're sending the troops to where the money is. Protect our money. Put a show of force around our money. Yeah. Money is ruling these people. It's all they notice. It's all they care about. And it's all they're planning for is a new way to make money next year. Excuse me. I don't know why somebody doesn't put an end to it. I really don't. We have an FCC. They'd rather kick a comedian off of his show instead of straightening out the news. Okay. Well, it's like, what was the latest one that was so huge? Oh, yeah. The 2020 election in the United States was stolen. Bullshit. Prove it. They've had years. It's 5 years later, and no one's come into a court of law with a stack of proof. If it was true, they'd have proved it. And we'd be so sick of seeing the evidence, it's ridiculous. They don't have any evidence. They made it up. It's just like they're covering up the Epstein garbage, right? Well, they don't want all their donors to get arrested, okay? They don't want them to lose face in the public eye. It's all bunk. They have the records. They got paper trails on all of us now. It's what they do, right? They can tell you who was paying the pimp. Okay, plain and simple. Jeffrey Epstein was grooming young girls, molesting young girls, and then selling them, renting them out. He was pimping them. Pull out the financial records and tell us who paid the pimp. It's pretty basic. They're refusing to do it because it was all of them. They were all involved. Prostitution has been going on forever, and it will continue to go on forever. Ever. They will never stop it. This particular animal was particularly heinous because he was going after young children, young girls. It's, they won't give us the straight story. They won't tell us the truth because they're too rich. Plain and simple. Well, the American citizens will get tired of it eventually. All these things are cyclical. It'll all come back around. We'll vote this one out of office. We'll vote that one out of office. And eventually there'll be a whole new, what do you want to call, crew of criminals. Okay. They've all got their own agenda. They're not like you and I. They don't have the same morals. They don't have the same ethics. They don't have the same character. They are consumed with greed. And they all want to have their nice, fancy cocktail parties. And we're never going to get invited. Okay. It's like the ballroom he's building at the White House. We're never going to get to go. Okay. We're not invited to dinner. We're not invited to that ballroom, and we're not going to be. I can see that I've made some definite lighting improvements, so I'm excited. As long as the Lions win tonight at football, it will have been a great day. Yeah, I was thinking about changing internet companies, to be honest with you. Now that I finally got this one working. Well, I'm sorry. It just, I shouldn't have had to hardwire my laptop directly to my router. I'm paying for Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is supposed to work. The fact that I can hardwire and it works, and I can disconnect the hardwire and have it not work, that's your proof. Okay? It's just another corporation with a product that's not up to snuff. It's not good enough. I was on the phone with them and trying to sort this out, and it took them 2.5 weeks to tell me the solution was to stop trying to use the Wi-Fi. Duh. I finally figured that out, you know. They should have told me that in the original, and then I wouldn't have had to be kicked off of live streaming a dozen times in the first 2 weeks. So it's my understanding that you can't chat on your TV unless you've got all the latest equipment that nobody's got yet. I suppose a year from now, things will be different. You can enable the chat on your TV and you can read it as it scrolls by, but you've got no way to participate in the chat without using an external device at this point. It's my understanding most people are just using their phone. I have patience. The chat will populate eventually. It's just a matter of time. I'm not running out and making a bunch of shorts, and I'm not advertising on other platforms or anything like that. I'm going to give YouTube a chance to do what YouTube does best. They're going to analyze this show with their algorithm, and eventually they'll recommend it to the people that want to chat. It's just going to take them a while. Yes, I smoke cigarettes. I apologize. I'm just a weak human being, okay? I smoke both cigarettes and pot, but it's legal here. I'm not recommending anyone do anything illegal ever. But yeah, it's legal. I'm in Michigan. And we have recreational available. I don't smoke cigarettes all the time. Sometimes I smoke the pot and vice versa. I don't have the answers to all the questions. I don't even have all the questions. I need you guys to jump into the chat and determine what we should be talking about on a daily basis. I've set up the show for Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That gets the 3 main time zones of the United States to fit within the title of the show, Afternoon Chat. Hopefully, we'll see something by the end of the week. See some people getting in the chat. Excuse me. The most I've had in the chat since I started doing this was 2 people. And it will populate eventually. Right now, I don't know who YouTube is recommending us to. They'll figure it out eventually. Eventually, there'll be a slug of people in here. The chat will be going too fast, and I'll need to slow it down. Eventually, there'll be bots in here, and I'll actually have to moderate the channel. I'm looking forward to learning how to do it. It should be interesting. Something's going on with YouTube because they give me a couple extra buttons to click. I don't know what they do, but I've clicked them. So we'll see what happens. I just experiment, light things up. I don't, put a check marks in the box and hope for the best. Well, I don't have a production team. I don't even have a makeup artist. So if you're watching me in high definition, I apologize. But this is the best I'm ever going to look. Sad but true. Well, this is the youngest I'm ever going to look, I guess. I could have better looking days, I guess. My hair doesn't look too good today. It is. It is what it is. I don't care. I brushed it. Well, after I got out of the shower, I brushed it. I didn't brush it to go on. I guess I probably should have brushed it to go on TV. I shaved, so, clean this up, So I'm not looking, too bummy. Well, I'll work on my wardrobe and whatnot later, and Crumbleina will come up with some stuff for the background here and whatnot. Crumbleina is my friend. I gave her the nickname Crumbleina because when we sit and have lunch, she gets up and there's crumbs everywhere. So she got the name Crumbleina. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I got my big family breakfast on Tuesday mornings. It's a very exciting time for me. There'll be 8 or 9 of us minimum, and I'll catch up on all the family news and what's going on with everybody. And I'll probably get to see videos of babies and all that good stuff, The heartwarming stuff that most people do, family-oriented stuff. Well, these people, they're busy, and for everybody to get together once a week is nice. I've been doing it for years now, and I enjoy it. So my Tuesday is generally a busy day. I try to fit a lot in, get all my errands run while I'm out and about, Something I learned to do when I was much younger is a work day is a work day, so pile as much into it as you possibly can. Get as much accomplished as you possibly can. So on your days off, you get to lay around and do nothing, which I'm very good at. So the basic format of the show is I've invited the world into my living room to have a conversation. So please conduct yourself accordingly. I'll do the same, and we should get along just fine. If you do need to vent, I would ask you to vent at me, not at the people in the chat. Cut them some slack. I got a thick skin. I can take it. And, if you need to call me a jerk, it's okay. I just, it's going to take a while to get people in the chat. Once they find out that I'm here every day, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They'll start tuning in. People will hit the notifications and subscribe and like and do all the stuff that the people are supposed to do. And I'll be reliable and dependable, and I'll be here Monday through Friday. Right? I'll do what I'm supposed to do. You'll do what you're supposed to do. And eventually it's all going to work. It's all going to come together. I like watching the shows that do have live chat and they interact with the live chat. I think that makes a difference. I think it personalizes it a bit for many, many people. So if you've ever wanted to talk to your TV, here's a chance. You know, it is what it is. I used to chat back in the day, and I got into open chat rooms, and I enjoyed it. Then my life got busy, and I wasn't able to chat. And now I come back, and I have time to chat, and I look around, and there's no open chat rooms other than the other social media platforms, which are all garbage. So I thought, why not make one that's not garbage? So if you get in here, nobody's trolling you. There's not going to be any hate speech. There's not going to be, any of the negatives. I got used to meeting a lot of people, and eventually that's going to start happening here in this chat room. When I just decided to go forward with this project, I made a commitment to myself that I'd do this for a minimum of 3 years. I figured that would give me a fair shot at building a community that wants to chat. There is like a membership available through YouTube, or I've also created a Patreon page if someone does want to support the channel. But I haven't decided what to do for the members. I mean, do they want a members only chat? Once the membership populates, then I'll ask them what they want, right? And we'll adjust the show accordingly. We'll give the people what they want. It's like the hours of 3 to 5 Monday through Friday that I've set up now. Maybe that's not the correct time slot to be in. I'll be asking the people in the chat what they want. If they decide that we should be on in the evening, guess what? We'll move to the evening. I'm given 10 hours a week, right? 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, 10 hours, right? It doesn't matter if it's in the AM, the PM, I could do this at 8 o'clock at night if I needed to. That would be 5 Pacific. So we can make some adjustments to the show. Depends on what the people in the chat want. The people in the chat are going to be the stars of the show. It's not going to be me. The more people get in here and start talking, the less I'm going to be the focal point. Right now, I have to be the focal point. If I don't sit here and talk to my computer, it's going to be a pretty dead 2 hours. But people will be in here eventually. We'll straighten it all out. I can turn this down a little bit. See, I can make adjustments. it's, going to be up to the people of the chat to determine what we talk about. As long as we're all staying within the community guidelines that YouTube is dictating, we'll be fine. We should be able to talk about anything, and I don't care what. Well, yesterday I had an exciting half-hour conversation about a really gnarly looking caterpillar. He did not look friendly. I mean, he had like little spikes and hairs coming out. I didn't want to touch it. I don't care what we talk about. I'm looking forward to talking about things I know nothing about. I'm looking forward to learning. That'll be a part of this. People are going to give us the skinny. They're going to tell us the truth. Most of us don't lie. Most people, that you meet on a daily basis are not liars. Well, number one, if you do have a liar in your life, they're making themselves disposable. They're making themselves temporary in your life. You're not going to keep a liar in your life. He's not going to be a part of your everyday existence. And I'm still drinking Dr. Pepper. I'm running a little behind. I didn't get in the shower till late. Well, my oldest son called and I visited with him. He's got a birthday next week. Yeah, I have two sons. They're both living in Vegas. Las Vegas. I should say the whole name of the town. I don't think you can call it just Vegas unless you're like vacationing there or something. And I don't go there on vacation. My kids come up here. They're traveling the globe anyways. So it's okay that I can be stationary and they can travel to me. But yeah, they're both quite successful. I'm very proud. I haven't ever discussed it with them, but I would imagine that there were quite a few pitfalls of being raised in Vegas that they probably had to sidestep. Yeah, I'll probably discuss that with them soon. Find out. Well, I know, a few things, a few of the pitfalls from living in Vegas because I lived there, right? I don't know how it was for them growing up. They seemed well adjusted and happy and, hopefully my granddaughter will come out great. She's 17. Yeah. She lives and works in Vegas. Yeah. Very, very intelligent, very smart young lady. Very proud of her. I think part of our system of values here in the United States, anyways, is that we want our children to have it better than we had it. Take what I had and build on it and have something better. It could warm my heart. I'm assuming that everything that they do will build for their future. That's the way I raised my kids. I don't build for a future anymore. I just live in it now. Well, the technology, for one thing, it's just, I don't think the life expectancy of a piece of electronics. I mean, if you buy your phone brand new, top of the line, how long does it last before they come out with another one? What do you get? A year, year and a half, maybe 18 months. And then yours is basically obsolete. You're going to want the newer model, the newer version, because it's improved. It's that much better. I think that's the way, well, at least with our electronics, I think that's the way it's working. I didn't have the internet when I was young. The internet wasn't invented until I was in my 30s, maybe. I know that nowadays everyone is addicted to the internet. If you don't have access to it, you got to feel like you're living in caveman times. Okay. And I don't blame people for feeling that way. We had a tornado last year around here, and we lost power for 5 days. 5 days with no electricity and no internet, no television, no nothing. And you felt like you were living in a cave. You had to go outside to get sunlight. Okay. Oh, you can't build a campfire in your living room when you're renting an apartment. Okay. You just can't. No, we're very, very spoiled nowadays. We take a lot for granted. That's for sure. In my opinion. Okay. Maybe you guys all got generators but to me, the average guy doesn't have a generator. Okay. The average guy doesn't have these things. Dr. Pepper down the drain. I'll move on to my other beverage here. Gatorade. My doctor told me I needed to increase my electrolytes, so I drink a Gatorade every afternoon. Well, the older you get, the more you listen to the doctor. Well, you want to stay hanging around, Just because I'm no longer building for a future doesn't mean I don't want to have one. It just means that I'm not working a 40-hour work week like I used to. And I always had side hustles, so I was doing more like a 60-hour work week. Well, in Vegas, in Las Vegas, Nevada, I had to always be hustling, always had to be making money. Yeah, those days are gone. I'm not hustling anymore. I've got it on cruise control now. Well, I'm not hustling you. I'm not, I haven't even activated the Patreon membership thingy. You know what I mean? And I'm, been doing this for a month now. So, it is what it is. I'll activate it eventually, but I got better things to do. Okay. I'm not gonna, that's like homework. Okay. I don't want homework from this podcast. No, don't give me an assignment. Okay. You might be interrupting my nap. Okay. A nap's a very important thing to me. I took an hour and a half one today. I got up this morning, I had my toast and coffee, and then I went back to bed. I didn't have to punch a time clock. Go figure. Well, that's why I didn't start the podcast till 3 in the afternoon. So that's after I'm up for my nap. Okay. It's just, the laziness of being semi-retired now that I'm doing this project. But hopefully, this will populate. We'll get some people in here eventually. And I won't be sitting alone talking to my computer. I'll be talking to you guys. And we'll be having actual conversations. I don't think that it's going to cost you anything. You know what I mean? I'm not selling anything. I'm not coming out with a line of merch. I have no desire to make a profit off of you guys. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for people to talk to. So I can learn, so I can use my brain, actually have it doing something other than just taking up the space between my ears. The overhead on this channel is unbelievably priced. I mean, it's $13.99 American money per month. Well, the business license and whatnot was more, but the basic overhead. I mean, I had internet anyways. I had YouTube anyways. I had my laptop anyways. So I didn't have to go out and buy all new equipment. Oh, I see all those guys with them $1,000 microphones and all that. It's not necessary. I went to the volume control on my laptop and I maxed it out. We're good. The camera works, the microphone works, and everything is all Google. I got a Google computer. I got a Google channel. It's all Google. I didn't invent it, but it's here for $13.99. I'm going to take advantage of it. Why? And I would encourage you guys to do the same. Well, the worst that can happen is you get sued and lose everything you own. Right? I don't see the dark side of the cloud. I see the light side. I'm sorry. I think the glass is half full. I don't think I'm going to get sued, but just in case, I created Ghost Mostly Media LLC. Right? But I know how to talk to the public. I know how to discuss things. This is like my 21st show, and I think I've stopped dropping F-bombs. Okay. I think I'm not going too far down too many rabbit holes. Well, it's easy. You can fall off a cliff when you're not interacting with other people. You know what I mean? Well, I come close with the Charlie Kirk assassination, last week. That was horrific. You can fall down a rabbit hole quite easy when you're talking about, especially politics, you know. Well, you get almost what I'd call a tunnel vision. You can only see what's right in front of you. You lose sight of the periphery of the world, right? It's like your perspective narrows the less that you're learning, the less that you're interacting with, right? So you can fall down a rabbit hole and all you can see is your own research, what you put in front of yourself, right? I used to see that happen to people all the time. They get embarrassed, like a blackjack dealer that made a mistake. All they can see is their own mistake, their own flaw. They can't get past it. And I'm like, you're not the only person that has ever made a mathematical error in this world. The world's not coming to an end. Take a deep breath, put your shoulders back, relax. You made an error. We can fix it, right? It's not the end of the world. Well, in a lot of ways, being a blackjack dealer or a craps dealer or a roulette dealer, these things that I have experience with, right? In a lot of ways, the pressure gets to people, and some people can't handle that much pressure, um, especially when you add other instances that could complicate the issue, like language barriers or something like that. Throw in the fact of the customer being intoxicated, right? All he knows is that you made an error and it costs him money and he wants to fix it. But he doesn't have the power to fix it. And you don't have the power to fix it. Your boss is who's got to fix it, right? And it can be just the pressure can get to people. And being a dealer, you're under pressure, you're under stress. You don't have to win to keep your job, but you have to be expedient about what you're doing, right? You need to be able to calculate, do the math on some difficult math problems. You come in Monday through Friday of this week, and blackjack pays 3-2. And next week, the employer changes it. You come in on Monday, and he says, "By the way, blackjack pays 6-5 now." Right? Takes some mental acuity in order to stay up and stay on top of it. And you need your answers instantly. You don't have time. You can't use a calculator. Okay? It's got to be in your brain. Right? And mental math is hard when you're under stress, you're under pressure. Right? Used to crack me up. I'd be paying the crap table because everybody won. They're up high-fiving. I'm bent over. They're actually high-fiving above my back while I'm going around the table making the payoffs. Right? Can be a stressful situation. And stress is killing people all over the planet. It really is. You can't let this stuff bother you. You've got to have a thick skin. It's hard. I got used to it. Didn't bother me. You know, it became real basic for me. You know, if you're winning for the house, when you get off the table to go take your break, make eye contact with your boss. Give him a big smile. Right? If you're losing house money, your customers are happy on your way off the table, give them the big smile. Right? And then put your head down. Don't make any eye contact with the boss. Get out of the pit and go to the break area. Right? Don't notice me today. I'm not winning today. I didn't care one way or another. I preferred to pay people. I preferred to give the house money away by a long shot. I thought it was hilarious when the casino lost. Still do. Everything's designed in their favor. Okay, everything. Even the breakage, right, is designed in their favor. Right? Now, the breakage is the excess of a fraction that can't be made monetarily. Right? Like the blackjack table doesn't go down to the penny. Most of them stop at the quarter or the 50-cent piece. You can only pay so far down the line, right? That's just the math. But the casino decides that themselves when they open up. They didn't put pennies, nickels, or dimes on those tables for a reason. Back in the day, craps was dealt to the dime, right? And nobody has dimes anymore, right? Well, by design, they want that breakage to go in their favor. But, the math of casino table games is a demand on the casino employees because every transaction is videotaped. They have the proof. And every time you make a mistake, they've got video evidence of your mistake. You want to talk about working in a stressful environment? It's not life or death like a doctor's, right? But it's pretty serious. People care about their money. They work darn hard for it, Over the course of my table games career, I think I saw everything there was to see. And to be honest with you, I laughed at most of it. You can't let things eat a hole in you. That's why I openly recommend counseling to everyone. I think we should all have counselors on speed dial. Okay. You run into things that stress you out. Don't let it eat a hole in your gut. Talk to somebody about it. Some things just need the light of day to air them out. I took corporate classes in conflict resolution. And the hardest part about conflict resolution is everyone involved in the conflict needs to be heard, and they need to understand that they were heard. Once they understand that you've heard them out and you understand their perspective, then they'll accept any solution you may have. But you can't expect them to accept your solution when you never heard them out, when you never found out their perspective, right? Most human beings, I mean, it's very basic, but most human beings are all the same. to a certain extent. Yes, we all are all unique individuals, and there's nothing wrong with that. But basically, we're all the same. And if you acknowledge your mistake and you correct your mistake, I'm going to be a forgiving person. And I think most people are that way, right? Why? Because they've made mistakes too. We all interconnect, whether we realize it or not. I like the fact that everybody is basically the same, right? I like that, the Democrat wants his kid to go to school. The Republican wants his kid to go to school. Why do they both want their kids to go to school if they're so different? They're not that different. That's the truth. There are more similarities than there are differences. It's just that, in the society we're in, we're taught to exploit those differences, take advantage, or to chastise those differences, right? I don't think we should be chastising each other at all. Personal opinion. Okay. Coming from a guy that makes a lot of mistakes. Okay. To me, the hardest part of learning is accepting the fact that you can make a mistake. Okay. I have a cousin. I won't mention him, but he thinks he's always right. He makes mistakes, but he thinks he's always right. It's very challenging to interact with him and to see him make a mistake and him not realize it. And it happens all the time. I think it's funny. Doesn't make him a bad person. He just believes his way is the right way. And he doesn't see any other perspective. It never dawns on him that you could have a different outlook than he has. Right? Well, and to put it into sports, I'm watching the Tigers. They're in a slump right now. They can't seem to buy a victory no matter what they're doing. Right? They were leading the league all season long. And now that the season's winding down, they're winding down. Right? They're having trouble with accepting their shortcomings. Right? And you see them getting all stressed out over it. I can tell them right now, I know what their problem is. The Tigers' problem is they're not having fun anymore. If they want to do good, they need to go have fun. They're not looking at it like it's a game anymore. They're looking at it like it's a business. Everybody's all serious. They're putting all this undue pressure on themselves. They need to lighten up. If it wasn't a pro game, I'd say somebody get a keg of beer. Loosen those guys up. Let them have some fun. If they'd loosen up, they're much better skilled than they realize. That's why they were leading the league. Okay? Their skills are there. They just don't realize it. There's too much seriousness in the world. We need more laughter. Okay? We need more comedians. You're not going to die from laughter, but you could die from stress. So deal with that stress to the point where it's okay for you to laugh. It's a pretty simple formula, really. Well, from my perspective, from what I see, right? Yours may be different. I'd invite you to jump in the chat and tell me to shut up. Correct me when I'm wrong. That will happen eventually. If you stay on here long enough, you watch this long enough, you'll find me making all kinds of mistakes, and you'll find people jumping in here and straighten me out right away. Okay. I'm looking forward to it. Interacting with people is interesting. It keeps your mind sharp. It keeps you on top of things. When you're not interacting with other people, it becomes too dull, right? The first thing I do after I end this live stream is I go for a walk. Okay. Well, I sit for 2 hours to do the live stream, right? So afterwards, I go outside. I go for a walk. As soon as this show's over today, I will smoke a bowl from like 5 o'clock till 10 after 5. By 10 after 5, I'm getting ready to walk out the door. I'm going to go have a walk, see my neighbors, visit with people in the park, get my mind off of my struggling podcast. Okay. I might even tell someone in the park that I do a podcast. You never know. Well, I'm not telling friends and relatives right now because I don't want to falsely populate the chat. No. That will screw up what YouTube's doing. YouTube is putting us in front of, putting this show in front of sample audiences. They're trying to find out the category that this show is going to belong in. It won't take them that long. They'll figure it out. I'm expecting another week, maybe 2. And then, we'll be in the chat, will be in the recommended column for the people that like to chat, right? Right now, I think they're recommending us to people that don't normally chat, to the people that don't have the Discord app already on their phone, right? But they'll figure it out eventually. It's what they do. They're professionals, right? It'll all come out in the wash. All I need to do is be patient, and eventually the chat will populate and we'll have discussions. And the more it populates, the faster it'll populate. We'll get there. It's just going to take a while. I have no idea who they're putting us in front of right now. I just have to blindly trust them. And it's okay, because I do. They'll figure it out eventually. If I could tell them, I would tell them, put us in the recommended column of the people that already have the Discord app. Seems pretty basic to me. But for now, I can just tell people, go to YouTube, download the Discord app if you want to chat. We're getting viewers. I just looked at the analytics. The first 20 shows, 4 weeks, 5 shows a week. Well, that's what I tried to do. That's not what I ended up doing because, I had the connectivity problems and got kicked off the live stream a number of times. And once I get kicked off a live stream, I can't get back into the same live stream. I can only create a new one. And it does not transfer the audience. So there's no point in creating a new one. But I looked at the analytics and we had 105 views, 106 views. And I got half a dozen subscribers, and well, a couple of those might be family members though. So I really, I don't know if there's anyone that signed up for the membership. I have no idea. Well, the Patreon membership, I never even activated that, so they can't sign up on that. But as far as YouTube membership, if someone had signed up, I'm sure they would have let me know, but I have had a couple of new buttons appear that weren't there when I started doing this. I'm assuming that YouTube wants me to click them, so I'm clicking them, and we'll find out what they do. Okay. I have no idea. I didn't even look it up to see what they do. I just said, oh, a new button, click. Well, internet genius that I am, I figured this out all on my own. I figured YouTube wouldn't give me nothing that I didn't need. Of course, they think I'm doing videos, and I'm not really doing videos. I'm just doing the live stream. So I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Eventually it'll all come out in the wash. Yeah, it's hot in here today. I got the air conditioner running. I don't know what the temperature is outside. Haven't opened the door. I did some chores, I cleaned up the kitchen after breakfast. I made the bed, I showered, got dressed, I did what I'm supposed to do. I started the show on time. Okay. I got one speed. I call it if and when. Okay. That's the speed I move at now. I'm not busy, and I'm not going to be busy. It's too stressful to be busy. I'll leave that to you guys. You guys should come in here and download the chat and get in here and vent. Discuss whatever you want to discuss. Don't wait for me to randomly find your topic. The biggest thing I got going today, I don't even know what I'm doing for dinner tonight, but I know I'm watching the Lions game. Okay. It's priorities. I'll wing it on dinner. Okay. That's just fine. I'll wing it. No, I plan out most of my meals, but I'll go grocery shopping tomorrow after breakfast. So that's when all my meal planning for the week will come in. Today I'm eating whatever's in the kitchen. I don't know what it is, and to be honest, I really don't care. The meal doesn't matter. All that matters is the football. This is a matter of priorities. People, get it straight. Okay? It's the Lions against the Ravens in Baltimore. And I got there's a chip on my shoulder when it comes to Baltimore. Last time I was there, they threw me in jail. And I don't take to that lightly. Okay. I spent the better part of a weekend in Anne Arundel County Jail without breaking any laws. Yeah. They were not nice to me. So I left and I didn't go back. But I want the Lions to go in there and put a 50 burger on them tonight. Just whoop them. Okay. I deserve it. I've been a good boy. Okay. So let's see the Lions go in there, put a 50 burger on them. And then tomorrow, when I get on the live stream, you won't be able to stop me from grinning ear to ear. Okay. I'll be a happy go lucky dude. Well, I'll have the win under my belt. Well, the Lions will have the win under their belt, and I'll get to take credit for it for the rest of my life. You know, this season we're going to be 16-1. Right now we're 1-1, but we're going to be 16-1 because we're not going to lose the rest of the season. Lions are going to win, and you notice how I say we. Okay, we are not going to lose. Yes, it's like I'm on the team. The other guys just don't know that I'm there. My position, I would be, well, I guess I'd be the Gatorade guy. Okay. That's probably the only spot I could make on the team. Those guys are all great. Have you seen these guys run? Oh, God. I don't run. Okay. I can barely walk. It is what it is, you know. I walk with a cane. You can't see that on here, but I do. I've been doing that for about 12 years now, 13 years, something like that. So many years that I stopped counting. Okay. But yeah, I get involved with the Lions. I am a serious fan. Just a fan. I think that they should come out with jersey for the owner, Martha Ford. I think they should make a jersey for her, put the number 100 on there. She just turned 100 years old last Tuesday. And she's sharp. Yeah, she's definitely sharp at 100 years old. Yeah, they should make a jersey for her. I would buy her jersey, right? I'm so proud of her. Well, the ownership, they're the ones that got the GM. They're the ones that hired the coach. It all started at the top. And I think that, everybody's got a 1 or a 2-digit number on their jersey. I think that she should have the 3-digit. She lived to 100. They should have a Ford jersey that says 100 on it. I'd buy it. Well, that's my personal opinion. Okay. Well, a lot of teams got owners they don't like. Okay. I always wondered why they don't have more ownership that is not an individual, like Green Bay is. They sell stocks. I kind of like that version of ownership versus one owner. It's like who's the one? Oh, Jerry Jones in Dallas. I think he's losing it now. He got a lot for the Micah Parsons trade, but it still seems absurd to trade away your best player. I don't see the Lions doing that. I don't. You know, they'll trade a player when it is advantageous for them to do it, but it's never going to be their best player. I guarantee you, Jahmyr Gibbs is not going to get traded. Okay. Aiden Hutchinson is not going to get traded. Okay. These guys are the heart and soul of the team. I smoke, but I don't smoke fast enough to keep the cigarettes lit. Makes no sense. There's probably formaldehyde on the tobacco or something. I don't know. You know, of all the problems in this world, that one seems pretty minor. Okay. I'm not going to sweat it. I'll just relight the cigarette. And I enjoy doing this, and I think it's fun, the whole podcast deal. I wish I'd been able to do this 30 years ago. Would have been cool. I don't know how long it'll take for the chat to populate, but when it does, this chat room will be going off because people want to be heard. I honestly believe that people want their opinion spoken. You know, if you've ever wanted to talk to your TV, now's your chance. You could get into the chat and be the only person there. Actually, it did populate. I had two guys in there at one time. Well, two people in there at one time. I don't know that they were guys. One was from the UK and the other was from London, England. I don't know where YouTube found them, but they put the show in front of them and they clicked into it. And I believe they both subscribed. So, you know, they could come back. They're probably waiting for it to get more people in the chat. We do get viewers, you know. I don't know. I didn't look at the length of time that people are viewing or whatever. I didn't, you know, go that far into the weeds on it. I'm a rounded off kind of guy. I'm not into micromanaging this crap. Okay. Close enough is good enough. Okay. I'm in here. The chat's working. I'm doing everything within my power. I don't want to get onto any of these other platforms. I consider them to be a waste of time. Doesn't mean I'm right. Okay. I could be dead wrong. You never know. I look at the other platforms and everything I see is negative. I look at YouTube and I see some positives in their platform, in the people chatting on their platform. I watch a number of shows that have chat attached, and the people I see are good. I don't see all the negatives. I understand that they have bots, and I'll do the moderation on the bots. I can find out what they're putting, and I can put them in the keywords and have them deleted automatic. You know what I mean? I've got a set of tools that I can use, and I'll learn how to use them. My main thing is I just want to have an open chat room and let people discuss whatever they want to discuss. I don't want to say, oh, on Mondays we have to talk about this, and on Tuesdays we got to talk about this. No, I don't need that kind of structure, and I don't think you need it either. The shows I watch that have chat are interacting with the chat. They're all themed, you know. Get into TMZ and they're chatting about entertainment. If you get into Tom Grossi's Packcast, the topic is sports. Same thing with Mike Kimber's, what is it? Chat sports, right? They've got a topic in mind that they want you to talk about. I don't care what we talk about. You know, talk about the ugly bug I seen on my bush yesterday. We can discuss it at length. He was gnarly looking. Okay. The topic does not matter to me. As long as we stay within the community guidelines that YouTube has established, right? Let's not piss off YouTube. They're the platform, you know. My youngest son suggested that I do other platforms as well, and no thanks. That's not what I'm interested in. You guys can do that, you know. You want to chat on X? Go right ahead. I don't see an environment that I care to participate with, you know. YouTube seems more than capable. There's a way that you can chat. So we're golden as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, so 5 o'clock, my electrolytes will be in my body, and I'll go for a walk and burn some of them off. Yeah, hopefully we'll have some people in the chat tomorrow. Don't look like they're going to make it today. We got about a half an hour left, and nobody's been in here yet that I noticed. I could have missed them. I'm just sitting here rambling. I got this thing set on live chat, so I should be seeing all of the chats. I've got some limitations, so I got some stuff set up. So there could be bots that are trying to get in here that can't or something because of the way that it's structured now. But I think that everyday people should be able to get in without any issues. I'll look through my settings, I guess, for the channel. I probably got comments turned off or something like that. I'll look through there and see what I can fix and tinker with and doctor up. But, you know, some point this week. Well, I don't think the lighting's perfect yet, but I think it's improved. Right? It's very bright on this side of my face, but it's not as dark as it was last week on this side of my face. So I'll get there eventually. I'll sort it all out. I'm probably going to have to buy some diffuse lighting. You're not seeing shadows on the wall. I know that. You know what I mean? When I put my arm up, I don't see a shadow behind me. So I'm doing something right. I'll get there eventually. And I'd like some more color in the background where it's all washed out with real bright on this side and around the end of the couch. I suppose I could move to the middle of the couch. I don't know. I'll keep thinking around with it during the course of the week. But for right now, I got a pretty good system. And I still, nothing I can do about the shine in my glasses. Well, I was thinking if I was shorter, like when I put my head down and slump down a little bit, I don't see any reflection coming off them. But I don't like to sit that way. I prefer to sit up, keep my shoulders back, work on my posture. You know, I don't know. Maybe if I put the camera up higher. I'll tinker with it some more. But I do have eyes. I need the glasses so if anyone gets in the chat, I can read the chat. Okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't wear them. It's not the lighting that's making it hot in here today. It's the outside temperature. It's probably 75 or 80 degrees out there or something. We'll see. See what Crumbleina comes up with. I was thinking I could just get one of them, I don't know, room dividers and put it back behind the couch. Maybe with some nice stained glass or something. I don't know. Something with some color. My apartment, I have black, white, and silver. Well, I decorated it that way. I bought the black furniture. I bought the black drapes. I bought silver fixtures to hold the drapes. The walls were painted white when I moved in, and I wasn't going to repaint. I live in an apartment because I cannot fix things myself. I am not mechanically inclined. Okay. Yeah, that's my brother. My brother works with his hands. He's excellent at that stuff. He can fix everything. But that's not me. I can write a check. Okay. I can hire a contractor. I can get a bid, but I can't repair spit. I've just never been talented that way. I took a shop class when I was a kid in school, and I tried using tools, you know, but I learned the hard way. Every time I go to fix something, I break something else or I compound my problems. So I'm better off not attempting to do something like that myself. We all have to know our own limitations, right? I've got mine figured out. I don't even attempt to fix something. I live in an apartment building, so when something breaks, I call maintenance. We got a couple of maintenance guys. They're really good at fixing stuff, you know, and I'm really good at relying on them. No, I don't try to fix anything myself. Well, I don't own any tools anymore either. Well, when you realize that you're not good with tools, why would you buy tools? Right? Why would you have tools? I don't need them. I can't work on spit. I think it's better to hire someone that is experienced and trained in that field and let them take control and repair things the right way or get them up and running the right way. But I'm happy that this podcast is up and running now. That was the only thing that was really stressing me out. And now that it's all hardwired, yes, I have an apartment full of wires, but oh well, small price to pay. I just jockey everything out of my way. You know, I don't have kids running around or anything, so I'm okay. My opinion on this podcast is that it's running smooth now. All we need is for the chat to populate. Once the chat populates, then we'll start getting bots and I'll start doing the moderating. But right now, you type in your chat, I will read it. We can discuss it. Whatever you want to talk about. I'll probably, at that point, I'll probably have to go through and read the community guidelines again to make sure that I'm operating within the parameters that I choose to operate in. But I'm not gonna. If people want to get on here and call me names, that's fine. But I'm not gonna let them pick on other people in the chat. I'm not gonna let them do anything threatening or vile. You know what I mean? But I'm a pretty patient and understanding person, and I got a pretty thick skin, so I think we'll do just fine. I got used to it in Vegas, and even dealing with an angry drunk, it's not that hard. A smile solves a lot of problems. In the casino industry, I saw everything, and I think I dealt with every situation there was to deal with. So interacting with people, I have no fear of it. I did it, I don't know, 33 years. The viewership keeps changing, but no one's getting into the chat. So I'm saying that, we're just not in front of the right people yet. When we get in front of the right people, they'll populate the chat and we'll have things to discuss, things to talk about, other than just what's on my mind. You know, hopefully it won't take too much longer, but if it does, it does. I'll be here regardless. I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to do this for 3 years. So I'm going to give it a fair shot. I'm not going to cut it short. And we're not getting kicked off the air anymore. So I think it's all looking shiny and new. Okay. I'll go through my wardrobe and see what I can do as far as changing. I don't know. I'll probably try to put a collared shirt on again sometime this week. I own them. They're hanging in the closet where they belong, you know. But, you know, I only have 2 color t-shirts. I have gray and black. Okay. That's what I wear. You know, but I'll put a shirt on next week or later this week or something, and I'll try to dress it up. No, I'm not gonna get a haircut. I'm not gonna shave my beard. I don't care. Okay. If you want to ridicule me for my appearance, please feel free to jump in the chat and do so. Okay. It'll be all right. I'm not gonna cry. Don't worry. I've come to terms with the flawed human being that I am. Okay. It may take you guys a while to come to terms with it. And with no one in the chat, you guys are probably learning way too much information about me. Way more than you're ever going to need to know. But I don't know. When the chat finally populates, I could go back and delete all these videos, you know. Well, I am the one in charge. Okay. YouTube gave me unbridled power. It dawned on me the other day that with this channel, I can put anything on TV I want to put on TV. That's real interesting to me. I could show you guys some stuff that I saw you would not believe. I don't want to edit videos. That's why I've chosen to do the live stream. I see a lot of people on YouTube doing videos and they spend most of their time editing. That'd be like creating more work for myself. I don't need to do that. Okay. I got enough work to do as it is. I don't need to create more. That'd be like sitting around writing code. It's not going to be fun. It's work. Okay. I watch a number of shows and one of them, it's called Cross Timbers Bison. Guy named Dusty Baker. He's in southern Oklahoma. And he has a working bison ranch. And bison are wild animals. This is very interesting to me to watch. Okay. Very interesting. I love it. But this poor guy is tying himself into knots editing videos. He has to edit videos almost daily. That's too much work. Okay. I appreciate what he does, believe me. I enjoy his show quite a bit. All right. But I don't want to spend all my days editing videos. It does not appear to be fun. It appears to be like a whole job all of its own. And no thanks. I don't need that. I like watching his show. Those bison are amazingly dangerous. Amazingly dangerous. They're wild animals. And I see him at risk quite often. And it's a good thing he's young and can move fast. Okay. Because them bison, they ain't no joke. The full grown females are 1,000 pounds, and the full grown bulls are knocking on 2,000 pounds. As far as I'm concerned, they can, at 2,000 pounds, they can flip a car. Okay. No, I wouldn't feel safe. If I was in a car in their pasture, I would not feel safe. I would feel like it's just a matter of time before they turn this into a junk heap with me in it. Okay. Maybe you're parked on some grass that they want to eat. I wouldn't piss one off. Okay. I was watching Dusty yesterday, and he had a female that had strayed away from the herd, and he thought she was going to give birth. And lo and behold, she did. She gave birth, and she had a brand new baby there. And he got within 25 feet, and she was ready to take him out. All right. She was not going to mess around. You ain't getting near that baby. Ain't going to happen. That's 1,000 pound of bison that will mow him down before it'll let him touch that baby. Okay. Wild animals are hard to deal with. I wouldn't be attempting that. Even if I were young, I wouldn't be attempting that. That's some dangerous stuff. That's why I watch Dusty do it. Right? He's pretty spry. He moves fast. He can get out the way. Okay. It's an interesting show to me. So I watch it. I watch some things that can be chaotic. It reminds me of the table games. The table games can get chaotic. A lot of similarities. Probably like a professional football game that I'm going to watch tonight. Can get chaotic. Okay. That seems to be something that interests me in watching is chaos. I don't want to be in chaos, but I can find it very entertaining from time to time. My prediction for tonight's game between the Lions and the Ravens is the Lions come out with a win, but they're going to have to score 50 points to do it. I believe that it's probably going to go the course of something extracurricular happening, like special teams scoring, something like that. That seemed to be the theme throughout pro football this weekend is blocked kicks and punt and kickoff returns. That seemed to be involved. So I'm thinking that the Lions put up 50 points and they win by blocking a kick or maybe Khalif Raymond runs one back for an extra score or something like that. I'll be looking forward to watching that chaos. Okay. But I do think it'll be a high scoring game. I think it final score could be like 52-35 Lions. But I honestly I'm expecting either a defensive or a special teams score by the Lions to seal the deal as it is. All right. Trying to wind down the show here. I'm trying to come up with not a spiel, but a regular way of closing out each show. It is. I have a very strong personal opinion that there are more good people than there are bad people on the planet Earth. I believe that there's a serious number of good people over a minuscule number of bad people. The crime rate in the U.S. is what I normally talk about. It's never been over 7% of the population, and I don't think it ever will be over 7% of the population, which means that 93% of us are good guys that didn't want to rob anybody, didn't want to cheat anybody, didn't want to hurt anybody, right? And I think that with the corporate media wanting to use fear to control and manipulate us, I feel it's an uphill battle. So now that I have a show, I want to close each show by telling you to be extra patient with one another. Be understanding with one another. Be compassionate with one another. You don't know what the guy next door is going through. You have no idea. And had you known, you might not have lashed out, or you might not have been as abrupt, or you might not have been as impatient with him as you would if you knew what he was going through. Part of life is dealing with hardship, and we all go through periods of hardship. Every one of us. I pointed out to my next door neighbor just the other night. We were out having a cigarette, and we were talking. And we were talking, Robert Redford had passed away. And she and I are still here. We're still kicking. We're not filthy rich. Robert Redford was filthy rich. I got to believe he had the best health care in the world. I got to believe he had a much better and cushier life than I have. Why am I still alive and he's dead? Right? Think about that. I know you're jealous and you want to have the money that everybody else has got, but the money ain't helping these people. They're still dying. Life has got an end date to it. And we don't know what that date is. Right? So I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how easy your life is right now. Hardship is real. And it happens all over the planet to all kinds of people. So be patient with them. Just take a breath, take an extra second to be understanding, to try to see someone else's perspective, and then try to be the hand up that helps them, not the hand that's pushing them down. Okay? Personal opinion. It's my firm belief that if you're always nice to everyone, all that niceness and kindness comes back to you tenfold. Okay? Be nice, be kind, be gentle, be caring, be understanding. Because when people treat you that way, your life has got greater value. Your life has more value, more good times, more smiles, more laughter. I think that your neighbors are your best friend, whether you realize it or not. When the flood hits, your government is not going to be here. Your neighbor will be. You not only have the responsibility to help him in his hour of need, but he has the responsibility to help you in your hour of need. I don't care if he's a Republican and you're a Democrat or vice versa. It doesn't matter. I don't care if he's wearing a MAGA hat. If you see the man standing in chest high water and you're in a boat, you're going to pull him out to water. I know you will, because you're an American. This is what we do. This is what the good people of the world do. The same way I know that if he's in the boat and you're in the water, he's going to offer you a hand and pull you out. He's not going to watch you drown. I don't care if he's wearing a MAGA hat or not. He's not your enemy. He's your fellow American. Treat him with some respect. And in turn, he'll treat you with some respect, right? We can all get along. We can all realize that we're in this together. I don't care what your government says. Right now, our government says the Russians are bad guys. The Russian people aren't bad guys. The Russian government may be run by bad guys. Hell, our government may be run by bad guys. But the people are not the bad guys. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want anyone to hurt me. That's not going to change tomorrow. It's going to be the exact same way. I guarantee it. So be patient with one another. Be kind. Be understanding. Be yourself. Because I believe in you. Okay? With that, let's close this out. And everybody have a great day. Enjoy the football game tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow on Afternoon Chat, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Ghost Mosley signing off, saying, I appreciate you. Have a good day.